So disappointed in the loss. Too many penalties, turn the ball over, and we let them run the ball on us. And you can't do that and expect to win. And doesn't matter whether it's a preseason game or, we've got to be better in those areas. And that was disappointing to see, all the penalties. It's disappointing to see that we turned the ball over again for the second straight week. So that's got to get cleaned up. There were some positives in the game. Obviously, defensively, we take the ball away there at the end of the first half, create a forced fumble, and end up getting a touchdown to end the first half. I thought that was good. It was good to see Will Lutz kick a 59-yarder. So that was a positive in the game. So, look, we got to go back to work, keep getting better.
Dennis, given the kind of year that Will had last year, just with the injuries, how big is something like that for him to hit one like that?
Yeah, look, I think it's big. I think it's big. He had a good warm-up session prior to the game. We knew going that direction. We had a little bit of help with the wind. That's why we called the timeout right before the quarter, so we had the wind behind us, so we could get a little help on the 59-yarder. And it was great to see him kick it through. So another positive step for him.
Dennis, was the plan tonight going in to play Ian the whole game?
Yeah. Look, we felt like we got a good look at Andy last week. Andy got a ton of the reps this week in the practices. So there was a lot of guys that got a bunch of reps in the practices that we wanted to hold in tonight's game, and so we got a good look at Ian. Played the whole game. There were some positives, and then obviously the negative really becomes the two turnovers.
What were the positives?
Well, look, I thought that there was a couple of good throws. There was a great throw at the end of the first half to Olave. Hell of a route by Olave and a good throw for a touchdown. I thought he, for the most part, did a pretty good job of operating in the huddle, getting us in and out. I thought he did some nice things, creating some plays with his feet. So those were the positives.
Was there a little creativity on that Olave route, or is that kind of how is he supposed to kind of sell it like that and then delay it to the corner?
Yeah, well, it was part of the concept in terms of how we run the route. But I thought he did a good job of selling it and getting out on the double move.
You had the 9-yard field goal, 81-yard punt, and the 60-plus yard punt, and the big kickoff return.
Yeah, I thought we did some good things with the special teams units. The penalties were disappointing. We come right out after the third quarter, and we had talked about it in the locker room, the penalties, and we have a holding on the first, punt return, which I think we'd have had the ball out about the 34-yard line. Instead, we started the drive at the 8. And so those are really big plays in the game that, you don't really think about. But it's a huge difference starting on the 8-yard line and starting on the 34.
Dennis, what did you think about Olave's week up here? The two
I thought he took a real step forward this week, and I thought he capped it off with a nice game today, and certainly the touchdown was a big play for us.
How do you evaluate a guy like Malcolm Roach on a day where he spends a lot of time in the backfield, but he also had the roughing the passer that extended that drive?
Well, the roughing the passer can't happen. 3rd and 19, we're going to be off the field, and they end up extending a drive, and that ended up being a touchdown drive. So, look, a lot like no different than when you turn the ball over. You can do a lot of really, really good things in the game, but those are critical plays in the game that end up costing you. So we've got to be better in that area.
Dennis, how do you feel about where you're all at in the evaluation process? 53, getting that right 53. How much closer did you get tonight? How difficult is it?
Well, look, I think we moved a little closer through the week of practice. I'm going to reserve judgment on the game until we get back and watch the tape. But we still have a long way to go. We still have a lot of things we got to get better at, and so that's where our focus is.
So show you about Kirk Wilson in 2 straight games. He's kind of getting involved on a turnover type of play.
Yeah, it's good. Those things stand out to me. The most important thing on the field is the ball, and when you're part of taking it away, that's a positive.
How was Bostic just picked things up since
I think he did a pretty good job. Really, he came in on, Monday and threw him into a couple of practices and then put him out there in the game. So I'll have to go back and look at the tape to see exactly how he did. But I know he made one nice tackle on the sideline in coverage. I think he was the guy that picked up the fumble. So those were a couple of positive plays.
Did Kirk Merritt help himself with the kick returns?
Yeah, it was good to see. I'd like to see a little better ball security. I thought the ball was away from his body a little bit too much on those, but certainly the first kick return, set us up for in good field position to get a score. So that was good.
Dennis, do you want to use this preseason as an opportunity for you to get into situations too, like calling a timeout right before let's get when it's back and throwing the challenge flag?
Yeah, I think we're all doing that, and so there was a lot of things that we saw in the game that, Ryan Nielsen called defenses. Ronald Curry called offensive plays today. I got a chance to, throw the challenge flag. So we're all utilizing these preseason games to get ourselves ready for the regular season.
Was this RC's first time calling?
Yeah, I thought he did a nice job.
Is that just in case something happens, there's some familiarity there?
Yeah, I think you always want to, make sure that, we just went through 2 basically years of COVID where somebody could be out in the blink of an eye on the day of the game and you don't even know about it. And so I think everybody's got to get prepared. All good? Okay, thanks guys.
As Ian Book is in the shower.